Hi guys, I pray that you are well. This message is for anyone who feels forgotten, who maybe not by God, but by people that you have done right, people that you have been loyal to, people that are in position to assist you, okay? But it appears as though you have been forgotten, okay? So the Lord brought me to Genesis 40, verses 20 to 23. And it reads, "Now the third day was Pharaoh's birthday, and he gave a feast for all his officials. He lifted up the heads of the chief cupbearer and the chief baker in the presence of his officials. He restored the chief cupbearer to his position, so that he once again put the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he impaled the chief baker, just as Joseph had said to them in his interpretation. The chief cupbearer, however, did not remember Joseph. He forgot him." Okay, and so the Lord brought me to that, and I was like, Lord, that's all you want me to read? I was like, that's all you want me to read? I was like, you don't want me to read down to when Joseph is placed in charge of Egypt? And he said, no, I need you to park there just for a moment. And he says, I want you to acknowledge, my God, the emotions and the feelings of Joseph when he feels forgotten. Not only feeling forgotten, but feeling forgotten in the midst of celebration, okay? It was the Pharaoh's birthday, okay? And Joseph had been so loyal to the Pharaoh. In fact, it was his integrity and it was his loyalty to the Pharaoh that got him in the pit, that got him in prison, okay? He had done everything that the Pharaoh could have possibly wanted him to do. However, because of his integrity, it landed him in the pit. It landed him in prison, okay? And the Pharaoh was celebrating with all of his officials. And I can only imagine how Joseph felt, okay? Not only to be in the pit, but to be in the pit in the midst of others celebrating in a place that you know you belong. Joseph knew he belonged in the palace. Joseph was a dreamer. Joseph received prophecy. He knew that he would be restored to his position. It was God showed him this in his dreams. And through his dreams, God showed him the end so well that through that overflow of his gift, he was able to even give prophecy and revelation and help the cupbearer and the chief baker interpret their dreams, okay? And Joseph knew that he would be restored, okay? However, he did not know when. He was able to tell the chief baker and the cupbearer when they would be restored. And when they got out, he assumed, because the Lord had been showing it to him, he just assumed that he would be out at that time, okay? But the Lord still had him stay in there 2 years longer, okay? The Lord is just reminding me, because I know for me, when I read the 2 years past, that was a lot of anxiety. I'm like, Lord, you said swiftly, you said suddenly. I'm like, what is this, okay?
Today. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
And he said, no, that's not what I'm saying, right? Because you got to know the times and the seasons. And the Lord is saying that it's not going to be that long. For many of you, it's not going to be that long.
But ultimately, guys, the Lord is just highlighting the need to just remember to always submit your promise to him, submit your time frame to him, and just understand his sovereignty and always remember that he always knows best, okay? So take, however much time you need in your private worship and just submit it to God. And you never know what he might give you back in return.
It's not. It could be a couple days from now. It could be a week. It could be months. It could be spring, summer. Okay? You never know. Joseph knew he was coming out. He just didn't know when. And the Lord is saying, don't waste time. He's saying, don't be so stuck in your feelings that you miss the instruction, okay? Because you are coming out, okay? This is your season of catapult, okay? And when I first got there, I was like, Lord, this is the present. I was like, you want me to stop it? They did not remember Joseph. They forgot him. He said, yeah. He said, because what did I tell you about catapult? He said, we just was talking about catapult. He said, I just told you about all of those people, okay, who experienced catapult. And I told you why. And he said, Joseph experienced the greatest catapult, okay, because he was in the palace. He got pulled back in the pit undeservingly, okay. But while he was in the pit, he received an increase in his gift, okay. He received divine instruction on how to handle the famine that was coming up, okay. And at the moment when he was called, okay, once he was called suddenly. He was catapulted swiftly. They called him out of that pit without notice because he was needed. Okay, there was no other person other than Pharaoh that had more authority than Joseph once he came out of that pit. Why? Because he sat there. He understood that he would be restored. He did not waste away, okay, while he was in the pit. Instead, he continuously prepared. He continuously received divine instruction. Okay, he wasn't looking for more confirmations that he was coming out. He knew he was coming out. And because he knew that he was coming out, he was able to receive instruction. And when Pharaoh heard not only his interpretation, but the fact that he was discerning and wise enough to have that level of instruction, it was what he did in the pit that catapulted him. My God. It was his posture in the pit. It was not wasting the time that he spent in the pit that catapulted him. And the Lord is saying, don't waste your time looking for more confirmations that you're coming out. You're coming out. You're coming out. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But don't waste the moment. Because any day, my God, any day from now, suddenly you can be taken out. Suddenly you can be called forth, okay? And the Lord is saying he knows that it can be hard, specifically to hear others celebrate, okay, for people that you love. Joseph loved Pharaoh. It can be hard to see others moving on, seemingly moving on without you. But the Lord is saying that for people where you guys are destiny helpers to one another, okay, for people that he has orchestrated together, okay, there is nothing that can separate that, okay? Joseph's gift made room for him. And it doesn't matter what circumstance that you're in. He might have been operating out of one gift when he was in the palace at first. And when he was in the pit, he transitioned and he started operating more strongly in another gift, okay? And being able to step back became his advantage, okay? Because the Lord gave him the ability to see things clearly, Sometimes it takes a moment to step back in order to see things clearly. And that is what catapults you.
The Lord is also highlighting the song You Are Not Alone by Michael Jackson. And he just wants you to know that, this entire circumstance is all by his design. It's all, he's working it together all for your good. He's doing this to catapult you. He's doing this to give you an advantage. He's doing this to adequately prepare you for your next. And he just wants you to know that he's with you, that you are not alone.
So don't consider it odd or crazy to be writing out a business plan. Don't consider it odd or crazy to be making provision, okay? To be developing strategy for your next. Because your level of readiness, okay, is what is going to catapult you in the hour that you are called. And it's going to be a testament for all to see that the Lord has been with you. Okay? So I pray that you are well. I pray that this message blessed you, and be blessed.